Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Door Bumper Clear. I'm Freddie Kraft, spotter for Bubba Wallace. Dean Thompson this week. Hi, Tom.
What's up?
How's it going?
I'm okay.
How was Lancaster?
Lancaster was okay. We ended up 7th. Got started in the back twice. And
I saw him spun out one time.
yeah, 54. Got him.
Got him?
On purpose.
On purpose?
Which he absolutely should have.
Luke had that one coming.
Had it coming. Yeah. But
That's funny. And
good show, man. Great place. They do a really good job promoting it. A lot of good fans. Place was packed. Good racing.
Good. Karsyn. How's it going today, Karsyn?
It's going.
Did you have a nice day yesterday?
I did. I had a great Sunday fun day, and we had a smooth Cars Tour race this weekend for once, so I was glad for that. So nothing to complain about from my weekend.
Big Cars Tour winner this week, huh?
Who? Oh, Keelan, duh.
Well, I don't know. Who won the race, Karsyn?
Keelan, yeah, no, that was cool.
Is that the third time he's beat his dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kevin's got nothing for him.
Yeah, it was Keelan dominated. It was a fun
That's
night.
crazy.
And it's cool to watch them like race against each other.
How young he is.
He's 13, right?
Yeah.
And he's a damn good kid too.
Yeah.
The most respectful kid ever. We love having him. So it's been nice.
That's good. And joining us today, Michael McDowell, driver of the 71 car. How was your day yesterday, bud?
It was an up and down day. Obviously we came home with top 5, so it wasn't a bad day. But we go to these road courses knowing we need to win, and it's a shot for us to get into the playoffs. So you still feel bummed if you're not sitting in victory lane. But we just didn't quite have the speed this weekend to contend like we did in Chicago. We were close. We were a top 5 car, and all the practices and qualifying, we were second in our group, but that was like 15th overall, so that kind of hurt us. And just in general, we just needed a little bit more, but we went for it. We tried an alternate strategy that didn't work, and fortunately at the end we were able to put tires on and get back up there.
Yeah, for sure. And it's talk about. I don't know. You probably don't want to talk about it, but like Chicago, the car just seemed like it was unbelievable the first half of the race, and then obviously you have troubles.
Yeah, it was great. It was great all weekend. We were, qualifying on a road course is actually not my strength. I'm good at getting into a rhythm and getting into a pace, and I feel like I can get to 98% of the car's potential, but that one lap speed has not been my thing at road courses. Ovals it is. I usually qualify better at ovals than I do. So we felt really good at Chicago, but we knew SVG was strong, and I knew I had to get the lead on that first lap. It was, we talked about it. We got to get in front of him. We got to control it. Try to catch him sleeping. He wasn't sleeping, but you know what I mean? Be aggressive that first lap when everybody's trying to settle in and see if we can do something, because he has a tendency to check out, right?
Yeah.
He just builds a gap, and he keeps that gap. So we had the car to do it there. And so, it's a bummer. Racing's like that. But at the same time, it's part of the process of what we need to do to be better at Spire. And we've had a few mechanical issues this year, and we're working through that, whether it's processes, procedures, miles on things, how long you can run something. There's still a lot for us to learn. And then we've also introduced new problems, right? Because we brought in new people with new ideas. And anytime that you do that, you try to make things better, and you're pushing things. And then sometimes you go, oh, man, we haven't had these issues. Why do we have these issues now? And so we're working through some of those growing pains, but we have speeds in our race cars and feel good about where we're at with that. But, it'd be a lot better if we had won Chicago and not had to worry about it, the next 6 weeks. But, like I said, we're in a good spot where we have speed in our race cars, and not just on road courses, but everywhere. And so we're not limited to just road courses or speedways for wins, but we do know that those are important ones.
Yeah, for sure. And talk about the change to Spire this year. Obviously, a front row for a while. You make the decision to move over to Spire. Some people kind of looked at it like, oh, they just got this 34 car where he's contending for wins on a more consistent basis, and now you make a big change. How do you feel that's paid off for you this year?
I'm happy with the decision. I'm happy with the change. I feel like everybody thought, we were just getting the 34 rolling and in a good spot. And but you know how the sport is, things change, and it's not always necessarily what I want or even what Bob Jenkins wants. It's just kind of how it worked out. And I'm thankful that I was able to land at a place like Spire that's growing, that's on an upward trajectory. And, we're not at our peak right now, and we know that. So I think that part of it's been good. There's been more growing pains than I would have hoped for. but realistically, it's par for the course. I mean, it really is. I mean, this is part of, transitioning to a new team.
How much does it help to bring kind of the core guys with you? Travis comes with you, Fisher goes with you, the guys that you kind of directly relate, talk to during the race, I'm sure during the week as well. But how much does that help that transition for you guys?
Oh, it's been huge. I mean, a lot of our core group stayed the same, no doubt about it. But it's also new tools for them, new simulation, new processes. And so, there's advantage and disadvantage to it. Our chemistry, knowing each other, how we thrive and what we need to thrive is all good. But at the same time, we all came into it new. And so we've had to learn the tools, and we've had to learn some of the quirks that are different about, the Fords versus the Chevys. And that's bit us a few times because you go to a place where you feel like, man, we were really strong here last year. We know exactly what we need. And you put it in, and it's a dumpster fire, and you're like, how could that be? It's all the same parts. It's all the same pieces. So we're learning some of those things as we go, but I feel like we've honed in on it.
I'm curious how Fisher spots, because he doesn't speak. So I don't know. Like I feel like on the roof, man, he doesn't talk to anybody. Like maybe Tyler, but that's about it. He's such a quiet guy, but yeah, I mean, obviously does a really good job.
Yeah, he's a stud. Fisher, my spotter, he's just does a great job. And the great thing about him was he was young, and he was doing some road course spotting, and he was doing some late model stuff, and he was helping out with Brad Kay, and so he had some experience in the Cup Series, but not a lot. And TJ really actually should get the credit for it,
which I don't know why anybody listens to TJ about anything.
Yeah. But with Fisher, I was able to, hey, this is what I need. I know everybody wants something different, but this is what I need. And then on the preparation side, I was putting in, it felt like a lot, 6, 7, 8 hours a week, like looking through video, looking through SMT. Like I'm not computer savvy enough, downloading everything, trying to line up audio and all this stuff. And I was, spending a lot of time studying and working on that. And he was like, do. I was like, okay, you're taking this workload. And I was able to kind of lay out, this is what I need. This is what's real important to me. And so he has helped me out a tremendous amount, being able to, focus on what's really important. And he helps a ton with that preparation, and does a great job on the roof. So it's interesting to see those personalities, though. There's a couple of them up there that you're like, oh, these guys are serial killers. Like they don't say anything, and they just look at you funny, and then they get on the radio and they're like, just very good and clear and loud and aggressive, and you're like, I've never heard you say a word.
Freddie?
So
He's definitely heard me talk.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see those guys' personalities.
Yeah, it's funny. And to your point, there's been a swing on the roof in the last maybe 2 or 3 years of kind of going the route you went, where instead of just going to get a guy that's got 100 years experience up there spotting, you get a guy that's got a little bit less experience, but then can cater himself to the needs of the driver, really.
Well, and I think, too, when you're on smaller teams and you have a little bit less resources, you need people that can do multiple jobs, right? And so he has an engineering mind, maybe not a quote-unquote degree. He's driven race cars, and he's spot race cars. He's done a lot in motorsports, and he'll even tell you, like, I love racing, but I wasn't very good at driving, right? And so he's found his sweet spot, but we can utilize him for other areas, and analytics is one of those areas. And we don't have a dedicated team to analytics, right? So it's our spotters. And so I feel like, you got to be able to do multiple things.
Yeah, for sure. And he's one of the guys up there. Tommy's probably seen it. Fisher, he's got
a Starlink strapped to his hat.
He's got a Starlink on his head. He's got 2 or 3 monitors on the rail that's going on. And I'm like, I don't.
Oh, he came into the hauler today or yesterday, and he had this gigantic antenna, right? And it's got all these warning labels like, "Don't be within 30 feet. Could cause."
It was in his back pocket.
Yeah, and he's sitting there holding it like this, like a lightning rod. But yeah, he's intense about it.
It is. Tommy can attest to how much different it looks nowadays, even than 5 years ago up there.
Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, it's the next generation of spotters that are coming up. The old school guys have, learned to adapt, and they're working really hard. But these kids are coming in with a lot of information, right? Mm-hmm. And like you said, some of them have engineering backgrounds, and they know how to use these computers, and they know how to study data up there and help your driver right away. So. Yeah, it's changing, man. There's a lot of equipment up there now. I mean, there's little generators and power things and Starlinks and computers and
cool suits.
Yeah, cool. the cool suits. Yeah, these guys. It's
It gets
definitely
hot up there,
changing.
Freddie.
It does get hot. I still don't think I'm going to need a cool suit anytime, but TJ and Herm, they had to rock one for a little while. How good was it yesterday? I mean, going now, moving to Sonoma, tire wear, strategy mattered. Obviously, every time we see tire fall off, it opens up different options for strategy. And how much more fun is that for you as a driver to have to manage your stuff throughout a run versus just like everybody out here just running wide open, or not wide open, but running 100% the whole time?
I like both. I really do. I enjoy Sonoma, and I enjoy it. Until last year, there was always a ton of fall off. It didn't matter if it was old car or next gen, there was still fall off, and you had to manage it. And I felt like that's good for me. I get into that rhythm, and I feel like I can manage the tires and make it last on a long run. But then you go to Watkins Glen, you go to Chicago, and it's like qualifying hammer down every lap. And so I enjoy the differences. I don't know that everybody can do both really well. I think we saw that when we went to the next gen car, where like guys like Denny and Martin Truex Jr. that were so good at driving it straight, keeping tires on it, doing all the things that when you went to places where you had to go hammer down, kind of struggled to get up to speed. So I enjoyed the challenge of both. It was very interesting, though. Like, we unloaded at Sonoma lap 1. I mean, I spun out, man. I can't tell you if I've spun out on a road course by myself in the last 20 years. It just doesn't typically happen. But it was 3 or 4 seconds slower than we thought it was going to be, right? And, I mean, the track, it was super slick. The tire, just the combination, it would chatter like old Martinsville low air. You're like, oh my gosh, I just chattered and spun out on my own. So it was fun. It really was, because you were trying to get right to the edge, but you're also thinking about don't overslip them, don't spin them, try to make them last. And then even in particular for us, we were trying to go 50 laps on a set of tires, and I'm like, man, this is going to be tough. I mean, they were falling off by lap 10.
Lap 20 was a light switch for most.
Yeah, so trying to make them last was a fun challenge.
For sure. And Tommy, I mean, for me on the spotter stand or spotter hill, whatever you want to call it there, it was fun. I know SVG was probably out front by a good bit and kind of managing stuff, but like, the mid-pack was awesome because you had guys that would pass guys early in the run, then they would fade or late, like you said, after about lap 20. How much was it? How did they were able to capture that on television? Or I know you were watching the War Room.
They really didn't. Only the restarts they put emphasis on that, but it was interesting to watch how fast SVG could still go with his throttle response, what he was doing, right? I mean, compared to Cody, right? I'm like. I'm trying to talk to my guys on the pit box from the War Room. I'm like, Cody's going to burn his stuff up in 12 laps. He's going to burn him stuff up in 12 laps. He's way too much throttle, way too much throttle, way too much throttle. And you see SVG is just laying into it easy. Look at his time, 76.4, 76.2. It's like, how is he doing it? But again, it's a lot easier when you're out front. Controlling the race, doing all the things you can do. And again, I'm sorry. It's just he put on a clinic again yesterday. They didn't really have to do any pit strategy, right? All right, pit 2 laps before the stage end. Put 2 laps before the second stage end. All right, let's get in our window. We're this amount of seconds ahead of everybody. Let's let them pit. Put more laps on the tires than us. Okay, let's pit. Let's take the lead, right? Then there was 4 or 5 of you guys that came in with that last caution before 51's tire fell off to try to extend it to go all the way. But you still weren't going to win because he was going to be so far ahead of you guys anyway when he pitted, right? I mean,
there was zero chance we were going to win yesterday.
So, I mean, you guys were fighting to get back in the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, and to finish 5th was a really good day for where you were and what was happening. Really, that strategy got you to the top 5. I don't think you were going to finish there if you stayed with everybody. But, I looked up. I think it was 12 to go. All 4 of your cars were in the top 10 or 12. I'm like, okay, Spire's 3 cars. They were going to have a good day, and
it all came loose there at the end.
and it usually does.
Yeah.
I mean, it usually does.
I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is like with SVG, and I'm sure we're going to get into talk about him for the next 2 hours, but
do we have to?
We don't have to. I'm going to try not to, but it's going to have to come up at some point. But there's no. It seems like there's no sense of urgency. Like, when they go green, he kind of just maintains a couple car length gap and just there's no I need to build this gap. And then he just kind of keeps the guy back there.
Yeah, but he was complaining. He was saying all the same things as the 19 was
Yeah.
at that time, as the 24.
I've
in the
learned to not
beginning.
believe anything he says on the
Nah,
radio.
I mean, no, he was complaining about the rear grip and all the things, and worrying about the air pressure, and he was saying the same things, but he was just faster. I mean, it's just.
I think that what I was impressed with, I didn't see him much of the day, just to clarify.
Nobody did really.
Starting where we started 15th, and we were able to get into the top 10, but by the time I got to top 10, literally I couldn't
Just
see
that
him.
was
Right?
it.
Yeah.
I never saw him. And when I got on the plane and I was looking at the results and I was looking at the points for the day, like stage points, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Joker flipped the stage and won the
And won
stage?
it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, hey, are you sure that did they get this right? How did he do this? And they were just saying that, he literally was able to pull out a big enough lead, and a lot of the top 10 followed him, right, on that same stage. But I think to do that shows a lot, right? Normally, if you finish 10th, that's
you get a
about
couple
right.
points,
If you flip the stage, you get 1 or 2 points each stage. You feel like, oh, yeah, I did pretty good there. Guy won and finished second in both stages and still won the race on the perfect strategy. So he definitely had everybody covered.
We were running, I don't know, like 18th, 20th, something like that and coming to the end of the first stage, and I'm counting cars as they pit, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get points. Then there was a couple more that pitted that I wasn't expecting. I was like, well, we're gonna finish second, and then because I think it was Ross stayed out. So I'm like, we're never catching Ross. And then I'm like, all right, we're gonna get second. Everybody else is on pit road, and you can't really see pit road from up the hill. And I'm like, oh, we got to race this 87 or 88 again. Like, he's coming off pit road in front of us, and so I think he came off right in front of us. We finished third in that stage, and then the next one he was way ahead of us.
Good job, by the way.
And
you guys did a good job.
Yeah,
capitalizing on the point. I cannot believe the 60 car didn't do the same thing.
I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know.
We gained a point on them.
We
ran 25th all day.
Did they think they were going to win the race? I don't know.
and we should have gained. It should have. We
had plus 20 even.
We should have executed. I mean, we executed the second half of that race just horrendously.
Yeah.
But we should have finished probably 15th to 20th at worst, with 15 points in the bank and they were going to be 12th or 13th or around there. And I was like, man, I can't believe they're not taking any of these points. Like we're all
they left all them on the
and it's
table.
hard because when you're on the cut line there, like you're almost not even racing for that guy. We're almost racing. We need to jump a spot, maybe 2 spots to feel comfortable. Even then, you're not even that comfortable. But
I don't know. We talked about it at Pocono. I think you're 1 or 2 races away from knowing what you have to do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The variables are slowly getting eliminated here on new winners, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like you're in that spot. It is tough though because my crew chief Travis Peterson, he wants to get as many points as he can, and I look at it like, who cares about points? There's the only thing that's getting us in is winning, and that's not totally true. We could still do it, but in my mind, there's just why would you even think about it like that? But when you're not fast enough to win the race, you're like, well, I don't want to just give these up just to give them up. But my argument to that before the weekend started is if you're 4th or 5th, you have a shot of them getting together, something happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where if you take those stage points, you're going to be 12th to 13th, even if you're having a good day, and you don't really have a shot
to get the win. Yeah.
Get there. So
I just thought they played the strategy perfectly just on the pit box yesterday for us. I think they almost got caught by surprise because we were planning on probably not getting points in the first stage because we started 30th, but then being in position to probably get points in the second stage because more people were going to flip. But then once we saw everybody pull off, it was a no-brainer for us. And then you just you put 15 points in the bank and restart 26th, I think it was. That second half of the race could play out 1,000 different ways. You could get a top 10, you could get 30th like we did.
Yeah. I mean, the 60 ended up in the middle of and ended up wrecking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he would have finished ahead of you both stages.
He would have had both
stages ahead of you, got some more points, and probably been in the same spot as you at the end, fighting around you, and it would have been they probably would be in.
They'd pass us, yeah.
And you'd be out today. But it was weird. I didn't think that was. I thought it was really good on your part to collect those points.
Yeah, that's all my call. I was like, hey, guys, let's do this here.
Your part as your team, not you, Freddie.
Great job by Zilic Saturday. I mean, the last couple laps, I'm sure you watched it. But those guys. And that was another thing with Shane that it's like, all right, I'm assuming they had to save fuel a little bit because I know my guys were talking about they were close. But then with 5 to go, it's like the gloves are off and we're just going to go battle this out.
It was good to see they had even tires, right? They pitted at the same time there. Yeah. So it was fun to see. But, I mean, obviously if they weren't teammates, it maybe would have been a little bit different story. I had Zillage was at the modified shop the other day and hanging out, and I made him sweep the floor. I'm like, instead of you sitting here and writing 100 times, "I will not wreck in practice," and ruin a race and start last and go through the field, you're going to sweep this floor. So I sent a picture to Donnie here in the thing. I said, "Look, I got him sweeping the floor for you to remember not to wreck." But I mean, those two, again, he's going to create havoc when he gets up to the Cup ranks. He's good and.
Yeah, and he's good everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And the things that you guys talk about on the show too is he has it is it's going to be way easier to calm him down and practice and qualifying and not make those, like, you don't have to qualify in the pole by a second. You can just qualify in the pole by 2/10. You don't have to.
And that's what I said. At the shop while he was sweeping. I'm like, "Connor," and he looks up. I'm like, "Do you realize when you wrecked in practice in Chicago, you were a second ahead of everybody in practice?" And I'm like, what is? Come on,
I'm just imagining Connor sweeping the floor and Tommy just.
Yeah, well, he's just St. Connor. I'm going to start calling him that. Yeah, Final Four. What an interesting. The two sides of the bracket couldn't be any different, any more different. I feel like you got Reddick versus Gibbs on one side, which is not a surprise at all, and then the other side, I think, is John. What's his name, Tommy?
Numchuck
and Ty Dillon. And I mean, I don't know. Have you gotten to see the replay of the last lap, the last corner?
Epic.
I mean, you only get that because of this challenge. Like, he's not going to do that for whatever position they were running. 20th.
Yeah, you still would have got it.
I just love that as soon as he got clear, he was, "Oh yeah!" Yeah, like, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Does it pay just $1 million for the winner, or does it pay anything else? Like,
I think it's just a win deal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where'd you get, bro? Chicago?
No, Atlanta.
Oh,
yeah.
Right away.
I was head to head with AJ, and we got tore up in that big wreck. And yeah, that was done by then.
The people that were complaining about this is perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I hope.
awesome.
I think the whole world should be cheering for Ty Dillon to win.
Yeah.
Like, it would be the best story of the year, I think, if he could just somehow pull this off. Especially after I didn't even realize it because he was kind of back there racing with us most of the day, and then we all kind of got split up on that last restart where there was wrecks and stuff. So I never really paid attention. I jumped in the car to leave, and Joey Campbell's right. He's like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "See what?" He's like, "Dillon went in that last corner and booted Bowman just for the challenge." I was like, perfect. That's what they want for this thing. And like I said, I don't think, I don't know that he does that or that aggressively anyway.
Still finished 17th.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know that
he had a good weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, Ty was
fine.
solid all weekend. He was good in practice.
He's getting good, man.
I needed him to be a little better for DBC Picks. He didn't have much for SVG, but
you picked him, yeah.
Nobody was beating me on that this week. There's no way.
I was hoping that you got unlucky.
You stole him from me last week, but.
Tommy, you want to give a shout out to Catherine Legg?
Yeah, I know you do.
I know you're gonna. The note I sent you last night.
The fact that she's beat the 77 car all 4 of her races.
Say that again?
Every race she's run, she's beaten the 77.
That's a stat.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Oh, that is too funny.
Yeah.
That is too funny.
We like to give old Karsyn a little bit of grief on here. Not grief, really. He brings it upon himself a lot of the times. But
did he do anything wrong yesterday?
He got dumped yesterday. He spun himself out one time. I don't think it was on purpose.
Josh spun him.
I looked at a replay of that last night because I saw the in-car and I was like, damn, he just dumped him. The other replay I saw from like the outside of turn 2, and I could have been seeing things because it was 2:00 in the morning, but it looked to me like for a split second right before they made contact, he likes to lock front, likes the right front up. So I don't think it was
I agree.
intentional.
I saw that first angle and I was like, "Oh, Karsyn must have done something to him, at some point, But then I saw that in car of Josh, and I thought the same thing. He got to the top of the hill there and looked like he just went straight, but. Only he knows.
Yeah,
we'd have.
He might have locked him up just.
We'll have to ask
him.
him.
He was like, probably. I'm going to run into this guy, but I got to block the brake up just to stay off him once I do spin him. He did dump somebody else. Oh, Eric. He dumped Eric. Probably cost Eric a top 24. That caller is going to be upset.
Guy.
But that was probably payback from Chicago because I think Eric wrecked him at Chicago, so that doesn't really surprise me. There was another.
Chastain wheel hopped.
He got his own teammate, right? Or I don't know. Are they still teammates? How does that
Suarez,
work? Yeah. How do you like? Can you dump an outgoing teammate? Like, does you feel better about
if
that?
they're on their way out?
Yeah,
absolutely, fair game, right?
Yeah, but they were doing so well after during practice, communicating to each other.
Really?
They showed and they were talking.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I would say knowing Ross, Ross is just going hard there and obviously locked up. I don't think he would ship Daniel on
No.
purpose. They have a good relationship and they race each other hard, but it was one of those spots where you're like, ooh, that didn't look nice.
And it looked like, Daniel was a little jammed up behind. I think it was
that's
22
what happens.
also.
That's what's hard to describe is like everybody comes off of turn 10 and they start to block for 11. But once somebody covers in front of you, like it starts that accordion and I'm in too deep. And now it's 3 on the bottom, and you just end up running into the guy in front of you just because everybody woes up so much when you pull that block off. So it happens pretty easy there.
What did you think as a driver, the deal on pit road with the 6 and the 54? I mean, they had a little bit of a run-in on the racetrack, but I saw Gluck tweet something about like he thought it was on purpose. I think that's just, that's Ty had the right of way there.
I see both sides of this. Like, Ty has the right of way. I mean, he does per the rule. Like, he's in front of the 6, right? So he can pull through their box. He can drive 100%
Well, that's what those
through.
orange lines are for, right?
Well, only
if you're coming around.
If you're coming around.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not interference if you're in front of them. But you don't have to take all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
you
you do have to, in order to set yourself up leaving in case there's somebody in front of you.
If you're going to get blocked in and all those things.
You have to do that.
But then also, too, seeing the carrier.
Yeah, he was far. He was out there.
He had some room.
Yeah.
You know, so
Here's back it up a little bit, but we got to talk to Tommy, make sure we talk through this. Yeah, he's out. I mean.
So he actually came in at, I think.
Now, like I said, you can cut guys' brakes. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, he didn't do anything that illegal.
Yeah, no, by no
But,
means.
but you see where
you
he-
also hope that when the 6 picks in front of them next week.
You want the same.
Yeah.
You would like. You don't want to
Yeah,
get their carrier better be standing on the wall because Brad's coming.
Yeah.
It's and I don't know who was pitting in front of him if he needed to get out.
No, I don't see anybody pulling in front of him, but he
Also, too, you guys got to understand, too, these carriers are also trained now, too, to take it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to
They're
push
trying
the
to- they're
54
trying to
out,
kinda-
they're
right?
trying to do stuff
And
to.
so, as a driver, you're in that spot of like, oh, don't do that, man. But then you also go into that mindset of like, you're driving a race car and they're standing there. I mean, you don't want to hurt somebody.
Yeah, but
Right.
But why are you
common
playing
sense,
games?
Yeah,
you know,
common
like,
sense says get out of the way.
play dumb games and dumb things happen. So
They were. I mean, it's. I don't. Again, I don't, obviously Ty didn't do anything wrong. I'm sure. I understand why the carrier's mad and why he's going
I'd be
over
mad
there.
too. I'd be mad. Yeah, I'd love to see Tommy down there. He'd been fighting for sure.
God. Somebody, Flores sent me a clip of you fighting with an official at Watkins Glen, actually, about some lugs that you didn't put on, but you were gonna try to fake it till you made it.
because we had the lead and we were going to win the race, and that was when they first implemented that you had to have 5 on, and I didn't get the 5th one on, and then I tried lying, and it didn't work.
There's like
God, I
this
screwed
went on
up.
for a while.
Oh, well, I tried. They almost threw a caution because I had him fooled. I mean,
It was.
we had. I mean, we were actually going to win Watkins Glen with Ward Burton. We had the lead. It was kind of like the '88 when they won Dale Jarrett one. We were in the same boat. The car was just that good, and there was the last pit stop, right? And I'm
You
like,
should have put the lugs on.
damn right. It was habit, unfortunately.
yeah.
You always put 4 on at the end.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
damn it.
Are they throwing hands? Like,
Oh, yeah, they
I
started
didn't know
fighting.
that there was an actual fight.
Oh yeah, they started getting after it a little bit. I mean, nobody really. It looks like some shoving and a little wrestling, but they'll be all right. They'll get over it. Nobody really throws punches anymore.
Well, they got helmets on too.
Yeah,
You don't want to do that.
so you don't want to hurt your hand. Next stop, you be in there. You can't carry a tire because you broke your hand on the guy's helmet.
All right, we ready for some spot on, spot off?
Sure.
Okay. Shout out to our friends at Fox Factory Vehicles. They are bringing us this week's segment of Spot On, Spot Off. Fox Factory Vehicles delivers the thrill. They have turnkey, hassle-free custom trucks and SUVs that are built to dominate any terrain, all while retaining their factory warranty. And if you want more power, you can even go supercharged. You can build and price your dream ride today at foxfactoryvehicles.com, where performance meets precision. Okay, number 1, SVG dominates for his 3rd win of the year. He now has 17 playoff points and is the 3rd seed in the playoffs. With those playoff points, he will advance through round 1 of the playoffs. Spot on, spot off, Freddie.
It will be challenging. He's got a gap, but he's right now. I mean, I know he says he's the 3rd seed, but he's actually, if the playoffs started today, he'd be 6th in points once you factor in everybody's regular season standing points. So he's he would have, I think Barry is the 12 seed right now. Barry has probably 6 playoff points, I think, from his win and a stage win. So it's not a huge gap to 12th. You know, it's probably, which he also could get 7 more points at Watkins Glen, it looks like. But, you know, it's not as big as a gap as he would need, I think, to comfortably advance. Plus, you're going to tough racetracks. You're going to Darlington. You're going to Bristol. Gateway obviously is no prize, but it would be, I would say no, just for the fact of the racetracks we're going to. But to your point, I need to list back, Tommy.
To your point,
they
that's
found
2
a lot of
shots.
speed kind of across the board in the last 2 months that maybe they're going to step their game up at these ovals as well.
I think they're going to finish with enough consistency in the first part of the playoffs to advance. I do. They're putting this stuff together. I mean, and now with all the confidence that he has of winning all these races, I mean, you look at that stat right there. He's the quickest to 4 Cup wins in the modern era. 34 races, right? He's won 4 races.
Yep.
Tony Stewart's second, 47. Jeff Gordon won 4 races and 66 races. So he's pretty good. Obviously, road courses, but road courses are in our sport, and they always have been, right? I mean, it's not like we're just coming up with, hey, we're going to go run road courses, right? I mean, it used to be the first race of the year, right, at some time?
Yeah,
Riverside, right? I mean, we've been doing this a long time, and just he's going to put himself in position, I think, to advance, and, they're doing a good job. There's no, I mean...
And also, too, that first round is all about not making mistakes, as
Yeah,
we've seen, right?
exactly.
And so he might be the lowest pressure of all those guys of like, hey, I just go run 20th today and I'll make it. And usually that's right.
Yeah.
Like Darlington in particular is one of those places where 2 or 3 guys take themselves
Have an
out
issue,
and
yeah.
you're like, oh my goodness. Like all you got to do is finish and you'll be all right. So if he plays it smart and doesn't have any bad races or any mistakes, he probably could advance out of that first round.
You look at his results from earlier this year. He finished 20th at Darlington. That's good enough to maintain that gap. He finished second to last at Bristol. I don't remember what happened. It said he was a DNF for suspension.
We wrecked
You wrecked him? Oh, that's right. You did wreck him. That was nice.
Damn, Tom.
But that's a place where that can't happen. You know what I mean? That's the mistakes you can't have. You can't have that big, where you forfeit all that gap in one race. So, like you said, he's got to run, 15th to 20th, and he would easily advance, I think. And listen, I think that if he easily advances through round 1, you don't want to see him in round 2 because the Roval's in there. And now that's he's, because I don't think I'm going out on a limb too far by saying he's not a title contender. I don't think that he's going to put himself in the Final Four, or even if he does somehow get in the Final Four, I don't know that he's going to outrace the other 3 guys at Phoenix for the championship. But, that's a guy that could disrupt things if he advances through the first round. Now he goes out and possibly wins the Roval and steals another spot for the round of 8. Then, by the way, in the round of 8, we have Talladega. So you never know what the hell could happen there.
That's exactly why these points are like that.
Yeah.
For us to talk about this and the fans to think about it, I mean, everybody loves consistency, right? We all love consistency. That's how we've always been brought up. But wins are wins. I mean, in any other sport, wins escalate you to the top, right? I mean, SVG he's tied for the most wins for the year, right?
Yeah.
3 wins. Well, how can you complain about him not being in the playoffs?
Right.
Yeah.
How can you say, no, he doesn't belong? Why?
I saw a tweet last night. I think Lambert showed it to me, and I can't remember the guy's name, Adam something, I think it was. He said, I don't understand why people are complaining about SVG being in the playoffs with his 3 wins, but nobody's saying anything about Josh Berry, who doesn't have 3 top 10s, but he has a win. Like that. There's a disconnect there somewhere of just because Berry won an oval in a dominating fashion, albeit, but he's no more of a championship contender at this point than SVG is.
Right.
It's just and where do you land on it? Because I always say, like, I love the purity of just a full season, long points. But if that was the case, my guys got no chance at the champions. In the current state of things, we have all these DNFs. Like, our season's over 2 months ago. You're kind of in the same boat. Like, where do you stand on the system?
It depends on what seat you sit in, right? If you're a driver, you like the purest part of racing, right? Where, like Tommy's talking about, how you run all season long and stacking top 10s and not making mistakes should pay something. As a fan, and knowing that this sport is about fans and entertaining, like what we have is super entertaining.
Absolutely.
And I've been on the positive side of it, right? Get a win and you're in, right? So all those years except for one, I wouldn't have pointed my way in, but a win got me in, right?
Yeah.
So I like the format because it works out for a guy like myself that maybe isn't scoring so many stage points that you have this big buffer. But for the fans, like as you're watching the playoffs, like last year, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about Homestead and you think about Martinsville and you think about all the drama and all the last laps, and you're like, man, this is what it's all about. So I think it's accomplished what it should accomplish. I do like the conversations that there's been and there is ongoing about, how do we change it to make that Final Four or that Final 8 a little bit more, not just one race
Just one
kills
single
you,
race,
right?
Yeah.
But I think there's probably a way to do that and still keep the fire and keep the excitement without it just being if you have one bad race, you're out, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's probably a good way of doing that. But it's been a super entertaining. I feel like.
This is by far the most entertaining way to do it. It's just, everybody has the problem with obviously the single race champion.
Yeah.
All right, number 2, SVG is the greatest road course racer in NASCAR history. Spot on, spot off, Tommy.
4 wins in the modern era and 34 races, and all of them been on road courses. I don't know, Mike. You racing against them? What do you think? I mean,
So
you watch them,
I
right?
say spot on. You can't say spot off. You'd just be ignorant if you said spot off. I will say this though, is this car and what we have now and the amount of races we have now is different. I think Ambrose would probably have been in that conversation had he sat in a Gibbs car or sat in a Hendrick car all those years, right? Because he had that edge. He did. I mean, he was a standout as well. But he was driving for JTG or he was driving for, Richard Petty or RPM at the time. And they weren't crushing it everywhere else. Where I feel like Trackhouses in this next-gen car in particular, the playing field's much more level.
Yeah.
I think if you went back 15 years and you put Ambrose in this environment, it would be very similar. I think they both had that kind of standout performance. But the level of execution that SVG has is incredible for somebody new in our sport because we've seen fast guys. I mean, you guys are talking about with Connor. He's super fast. He's just as fast as SVG, but crashes in practice, makes mistakes.
Oh, he's only 18.
Yeah, for sure. But not speeding on pit road, executing restarts. I mean, he had to execute 3 perfect restarts yesterday as well.
Yeah.
And you guys all know how that is. You could lead the whole day.
Yeah, just somebody
all you got to
wipe it
do is somebody sail
That's
it
all
off
it
in there and your
takes.
day's over. So he's done a great job of executing. So I don't think you can argue that. But times are definitely different now. And I think that him and Ambrose would definitely be, neck and neck if they were in the same era.
Yeah, for sure. And you look at other guys. I mean, Chase won. I mean, I feel like it's about just catching lightning in a bottle. They got it right now. The track house cars were fast. Ross has always been fast on road courses since he went over
Ross
there.
won a road course.
Yeah,
So
Ross-
that's enough to tell you that their cars are fast.
Suarez, Daniel won, Sonoma a couple years ago.
Yeah.
SVG wasn't dominating like this when he drove the Trackhouse cars last year.
Yep.
So I mean, obviously, I think there's no argument right now. He's clearly the best road course racer of this era, definitely this car. But I mean, you go back. I mean, Jeff Gordon had 9 road course wins.
Yeah.
Tony had 7. They only ran 2 a year. You let
Yep.
them guys run 5 a year. They're going to stack
But
up a bunch of.
they won them without SVG there.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
fine.
I mean,
you can only race against the guys you race against.
I
You
know,
know
but,
that.
I mean,
it's
Chase Elliott has dominated. I mean, has the most road course wins with
Yeah.
this car until SVG. Now he obviously he's racking up the top 5s. He's still good.
Yeah.
But SVG is a really good road. That's it. End of story.
Oh yeah,
He's
I mean it's just
spot on.
Like,
Period.
his car control is unbelievable. You don't see the thing wiggle. You don't see him make any mistakes. I mean, even when he was trying to mess with Connor on the last lap or 2 to go there, he was hitting him in the right spots for Connor not to wreck. I mean, he
Right.
knows what to do. I mean,
Yeah.
he just
Michael, the biggest thing for me that I take away from it, and somebody, Chris Wyndham, texted me about this yesterday. Actually, as the race was over, he said, "What makes this guy so good that nobody else can figure it out like he does?" And I said, I don't understand because. SMT data, we have everything available. I know you're doing plenty of studying. I'm sure you're watching everything he does at these road course races. But unlike, sometimes you see a guy that gets really good at a short track or a guy that gets really good at a mile and a half, you can just kind of go out there and figure it out or get closer and close that gap. It seems like nobody's able to apply whatever he's doing. You have all the data in front of you. It's how hard is it to just say
you can't see
you
it.
can't
Yeah,
see
you
it.
can't see
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
try.
Well, I mean, it's like Denny Hamlin at Martinsville in the old car. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could look at his brake traces and throttle traces, but it doesn't mean you can go do it.
Just do it, yeah.
Because he has a feel. Like he has a feel and a timing of how he's releasing the brake and putting wheel to it and sliding the tires at just the right time and catching the angle and the apex just right. That's one thing SMT doesn't do well, right? It's got GPS, we got this camera system, but it doesn't show you how you're actually pointed. I think we have these conversations. Obviously, every team is having these conversations. Like, how is he so good, and how are we going to beat him? It's the fact that he's really fast. He's really good at what he's doing, but he's just not making any mistakes, and he's just executing everything perfectly. Yes, he has probably a tenth or two in the bag at times, but that's not really what the impressive part is. Because AJ was like that too. AJ could just blistering fast at times, right? But tires would fall off or mistake here or there. So I think that it's just the fact that he's putting it all together every time, hasn't missed, right? He hasn't missed. Like you said, though, in the Call It Cars, he did miss a little bit, right? Because he didn't have that
just
2 or 3 tenths on the field. So, but, you hear the commentators talk about the right foot braking and all this stuff. It's not that. It's that he's good at everything.
It's just timing.
He's just
it's
good at
timing.
everything.
Yeah.
Right? And he's got the right rhythm and the right mindset and the right technique that just extracts the most out of the race cars without sliding it around, without beating up the tires, without making mistakes. So it's everything. And I don't think you're just going to learn that overnight, just like he's not going to learn Martinsville overnight, right? It's going to take time. So
would he be as dominant in the last generation car, do you feel like?
Oh, that's tough. Probably because of what he's good at would actually benefit him more in that car.
Yeah.
Like when you do talk about the right foot braking, you talk about using the clutch, the old car.
Oh, he's doing it in Xfinity.
Yeah, when it comes to wheel hop and it comes to all that stuff, I think it really matters. So I think he would have been for sure.
Brad Keselowski and fans are calling for less road courses. Brad said on X that NASCAR Oval track races consistently have significantly better ratings, attendance, and sponsorship than road course races. Clearly, the oval racing crowd should get the dub here. 2 to 4 road course races is plenty enough.
I think it's
spot on, spot off.
Spot off. Just because.
Freddie's like, spot. I think his fans should just call for a reset of the year for Brad.
I think Brad is one of those guys that when this next gen car came, the road course stuff was over for him.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the crowds, like if you ask the fans love road races. They love it. Now, Sonoma doesn't hold 100,000 people or have stands for 100,000 people. That place was packed.
Yeah,
and it's
for
a
sure.
good crowd and put on a good show. Obviously, I'm biased, but you can't ask a guy that's not very good at road courses if he thinks there should be more road courses. It's like asking me if there should be more Dovers. There shouldn't be more Dovers. No more
Absolutely
Dovers.
not.
Exactly.
It's all a matter of personal opinion. And for me, Bubba aside, like as a spotter, I don't like road courses because I don't like to not be able to see the whole racetrack. I like, my job is to.
Freddie doesn't like to share.
I don't like to share. I'm a bad sharer. So that's my. I don't like. Just, especially like Sonoma's the best one. We only lose really turn 11, which I still could call if I wanted to from up there, but it's hard to get the exit, so just let the one guy call it down there. But for me, Chicago, you can't see anything. Mexico, you can't see anything. Watkins Glen, you can see 3 or 4 turns. But so I hate giving up that control for me. So personally, I don't want to see any road courses, but there definitely needs to have some, Tommy. But what do you think is the perfect number? I mean, or do we just keep, because we're at 6 now. I don't think we're going to 7, but we're at 6 now. Is that too many? Is that just enough? Do you want 1 or 2 less? Where you at?
I think it's enough just to break up the consistency. I'm going to say it, the consistency of the guys that are really good on the intermediates, the guys that are really good on the short tracks. Now you got guys that are really good at the road courses. Then you have some guys that are just pretty good at all of them.
Yeah.
So it balances out a little bit. I mean, I think right now the 9-car Chase Elliott is probably the average of good everywhere compared to the field right now. Right? He's done. I think if you look at his stats, he's probably been the best on the short tracks, intermediate, and road courses. So, I think it just creates more storylines, right? And that's what we need. We we only do this, like, again, all the other sports have 70, 80 to 160 games a year, right? There's different storylines going on constantly. We have 36. I don't want any more, right? But we have 36, 38 storylines a year. So we have to stay in the headlines, and I think it's good that somebody like SVG is dominating right now in this, because it's going to keep that story all the way into the playoffs, right? So, like you said, Freddie, if he gets into the second round, he's probably going into the next round.
Yeah, it'll be challenging for sure. And for me, it's just, if I spotted for SVG, I'd be like, yeah, let's get 12 of these things on the schedule. Like, you know what I mean? But obviously, giving it up, and it's a bit of a struggle for us at times, which Bubba has gotten much better at it. But, like yesterday just seemed like we couldn't help ourselves at the end of the race. We were finding every wreck or spinning out off of 2 because of the dirt. But yeah, for me, it just seems like 4 to 5 is the number. I think that, obviously you don't want to get rid of Sonoma. You don't want to get rid of Watkins Glen. They're just mainstays in the sport. They put on great shows. The damn crowds there are phenomenal. COTA has put on great racing, I feel like, for the last handful of years. I think it's got to stay on the schedule. Then you mix in a street course somewhere, whether it's, I think Chicago's coming off the schedule. Did hear rumors yesterday that Mexico possibly is also. So now you got San Diego's more than likely happening. So that's, but then, I don't know. A 4 to 5. I always think those 3 mainstays, and then mix in a international race or a street course is perfect. If you want to have a 5th one where we have an international race and a street course, or I think you can eliminate the Roval. I don't know. How do you feel about the? I mean, obviously, as a road course racer, you probably enjoy it, but like, would you prefer running the Roval or the Oval in Charlotte?
I'll answer it like this: there's a lot of really good, proper road courses in the United States, and they're not located in Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of cool places we could go to other than racing on the Charlotte Roval.
Charlotte, yeah.
It's just not a great road course. It's exciting because of, the chaos,
that
but
one
it's
turn.
not it's just not great for a driver as far as feeling like you're getting a whole lot out of the car.
I wonder that about somebody like yourself. That feels
like you
like
got Road America, you got Mossport, you got Montreal, you got a lot of great places we could go to, and then also too, the Charlotte Oval race is so good now.
Yeah,
so we should go back to 2 because it actually makes sense.
It's a good race.
The race is good. I don't want to eliminate any road courses. Obviously, I'm biased on that. But if I was going to eliminate one, it would be the Roval. It would be the Roval. Yeah.
And the rumors, it's been going on for weeks now. San Diego seems like it's happening. Chicago seems like it's coming off. Mexico, you hear both ways. Like, it's coming off, it's staying. It's coming off, it's staying. I heard yesterday though, potential they both come off, Mexico and Chicago, but not for good. There's potential to go back to those places if need be. Mossport has definitely sounds like it's going to happen at some point. I don't know about next year, but some point we're going to go to Mossport, which is good. Chicagoland rumors popped up again yesterday that it could be the one replacing Chicago, and San Diego replaces Mexico City. So there's a lot of different stuff going on. I don't think Brad had made his comment like going to 7. I don't think we're going to 7 next year, but I think we're going to have the same 5 or 6, and that's fine. I think and you got to mix it up. It's got to be different types of road courses. Like, I don't know why we ever stopped going to Road America. Like, the crowd there, 4th of July weekend that one year was insane. And it's awesome. It's just like just one of the most iconic road courses in our country. But for sure, let's run 1 next year or 2. Let's go to 2 for me.
We need to see Emerson every now and then.
What about, let me ask you this, because that's a place that Bubba has gotten much, much better everywhere else, it seems like, and we kind of still struggled at Sonoma. What is it about Sonoma? Because it just seems like it seems technical. It's more high speed cornering. It feels like it's more of a rhythm racetrack. Watching it from the outside, is that accurate?
Yeah, you just have to be pinpoint accurate. I mean, it's one line. There's only one line, and your approach and your angles are really important. It's easy to make mistakes. It's easy to blow the tires off at any point. So it's just, you got to be buttoned up, and that's tough to do when you're trying to push yourself to get to the limit of the speed rather than be at the speed and kind of back it down a little bit. So I think that those guys that, Bubba's done a great job of finding speed at road courses, but he's pushing himself hard to do that.
Yeah.
And you see that, right? Because he's right on the edge, of Chicago, he's right on the edge, but he's finding speed. At Sonoma, you can't be on the edge, but you still got to be at speed.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that. It's a hard balance.
It seemed like, we were talking about this Xfinity with Dean, who's really never been there before, and it's like, it seemed to me like the harder he tried to drive, the worse it got. It seemed like it was a better place. Like I talk to Luke about this all the time. Like 95% is better than 105% because you could easily. It's just too easy to make mistakes. Like it's just too easy to get offline, and then once you get offline, then it screws up the next 3 corners, and you're just chasing your tail for the rest.
It's
of
like
that
you're
lap.
talking about turn 2. I mean, it was impossible yesterday if there was any dirt there.
Yeah,
and you just didn't know.
Yeah,
and so if you're at the limit and you're spinning out, there's no way around it. And so you're trying to be like 1 mile an hour slow enough to give yourself a little forgiveness, but not 2.
Not 2.
And even like Chase, Chase Elliott late in the race went off there, but even earlier in the race he went off there. It was a strength for him most of the race. He was really quick from 2 to 3, but he was right on that edge. And both times when it was dirty, he slid off. So I mean, it's just a fine line
for sure.
The Clash at Bowman Gray will be back in 2026. It deserves to host a regular season date. Spot on, spot off.
I don't know
I
don't know about a
What are
regular
you talking
season.
about? It serves its purpose perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a great race. It's entertaining. All that stuff's good. It's still not a place you
don't want to run a,
go.
You don't want to run a points race
no.
there. Would put like 40 of us out there and just start running each other over.
Now North Wilkesboro is close.
Yeah,
right, because it still turns out to be a pretty good race there.
I think North Wilkesboro would benefit greatly from a points race, just on the racing standpoint of getting each other in traffic, and I think that would create passing opportunities more so than we see in the All-Star race. But yeah, I don't think we. This date for the Clash after last year, we have to see what the crowd does because we always kind of have that 3-year swell of all right, we get support, and then it starts to fade off. So as long as the support is at Bowman Gray, and I think it will continue because that crowd up. I mean, they show up every Saturday for that. The circus that goes on up there on a weekly basis.
For sure.
I think that atmosphere that was electric this year, and I don't know that we should ever move it unless that starts to fade away because that was Tommy. I know that was a perfect. Model. You got the modified race before.
I wouldn't call it a race.
You watched your old car win.
Yeah, he won again the other night.
Did he?
I think he won like $10,000. He took the last place.
The challenge or whatever. That's good. But yeah, I think everybody would be spot on to that it's returning back for the Clash because we don't have to go to California. We can go to Winston-Salem, which is slightly closer. But yeah, we don't ever need to run a points race.
No
at Bowman
points race.
Gray.
Per Adam Stern, Dodge Ram has considered doing a reality show of drivers trying out for a ride with its new NASCAR program, similar to the old Roush Racing Driver X concept. Do we think that would be cool?
Yeah, I think as long they need to tie it into the short track program somehow. You don't want to just invite anybody. I remember bits and pieces of that Roush Gong show, and it seemed like there were some guys there that probably didn't need to be there. But this needs to be, your regional series champions, your prestigious race win, the tour champion, the Cars Tours champions, whatever other the Super Late Model Series, UARA, whatever it is, the West Series, whatever these local championships, then maybe the big races, Snowball Derby, Turkey Derby, whatever race you want to go to. Because I remember when I was growing up, the modified race of champions was it. They ran Pocono, they ran like a 3/4 mile oval around Pocono, and the modified guy went to all these races that were Pocono qualifiers. If you won this race, you got into the Pocono race, and the fields that would show up at these other racetracks for that Pocono qualifier made the short track program that much better. I think you can do something similar with this, where you're rewarding these short track guys with an opportunity to race for a chance to run a full season in truck or whatever it is. But I think it's got to be talent driven, no matter what.
Yeah, and you got to have the right people recruiting that and picking that.
Needs to be a panel.
Yeah,
right. There needs to be a professional panel that knows about racing and race car drivers. Right, not
entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other good race car drivers out there that hasn't won championships. Right, but you can tell he's really good race car driver. He's not in the best equipment and can do things. I mean, there's 2 or 3 guys up in the Northeast that are capable of being part of this gong show and probably making out pretty good. But it's interesting. I'm glad they're seeking a new pool of talent to be part of the Craft and Truck Series. I hope it works out. I hope they can put it all together to. I don't know how they're going to do it because they really don't have anything yet. So I don't know who's going to, where's the
because you can't just it can't just be a time trial session, right?
Where's the team coming from? Where's the truck? There's not even a submission truck finished yet. There is nothing. There is not even a group of Dodge people that are on the same page of what they're doing yet. So I think hopefully that's going to come together pretty quickly and they can get this going. I mean, it's only 7 months away.
Yeah.
Right? And
are they racing? Are they supposed to race next year?
Yeah, and they're looking to have a total of 8 trucks in the series next year. So
better get to it.
Yeah.
I would say.
What's the ideal? Like, what would you think would be a proper way to evaluate talent? Because you can't just send them out there and go, all right, run as fast as you can, and we'll see who the fastest guy is. Because there's guys that can race fast, there's guys that can run fast last, but there's also guys. A lot of those guys are not good at racecraft wise. So
that's tough.
That's
what's so hard about it is it's no matter what, it's going to be subjective, and so you got to have the right people around that know racing, know race cars, can kind of weave through some of the BS with it. And like Tommy was saying, you want to give guys maybe a shot that wouldn't have a shot otherwise. That are outperforming their equipment, but probably are never going to have an opportunity to sit in good equipment. And there's you would have to go build 15 trucks.
Yeah,
and
to do it
let
right.
them go race, right?
Yeah.
And you're just not going to be able to do that. So it's always going to be based on how ultimately fast you can go. And but you find a place that has fall off, and you find a place that wears out tires, and you do a 50-lap run instead of doing a 5-lap run, right? And see who can manage that best. And
at the end of the day, Roush found
talent.
Yeah, good ones
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, some of them no, but.
Who came? I remember Hosfeld did it. He didn't obviously come out of there, but was that?
No, he ran some races.
Did he run some races?
Yeah, he ran. Yeah.
Who came? Was that Darnell? Darnell came out of that.
David Reagan.
David Reagan. Yeah, there's definitely value to it. And like we always say on here, we prefer. For a perfect world, you always want talent over money. So we just need to try to. This might be another step towards getting back to that.
I think it's a great idea.
Well, per usual, Spot On, Spot Off was full of some great opinions. And we want to give a shout out again to our friends at Fox Factory Vehicles for bringing us that segment once again this week. Fox Factory Vehicles is always delivering the thrill for drivers who demand the best. They have fully custom, turnkey, hassle-free trucks and SUVs that are built to dominate any terrain, all while retaining their factory warranty, Freddie.
Yeah, whether you're heading to the track or the trail, these rides are ready. No do-it-yourself, no delays. Karsyn, I don't know that Sunday Fun Day with a Fox Factory vehicle is a great idea.
Might make it more of a Sunday Fun Day.
You'd have to cut out some of the other activities on your Sunday Fun Day.
Fair.
But where would you like to take your Fox Factory vehicle?
Man, I think it would just be fun to have for the summer. And like one thing I like to do is like trackside parking at a racetrack. Like to go tailgate, hang out. We did that at South Boston a couple weeks ago. So I feel like it'd be fun to have one of these for something like that.
That would be perfect. And if you really want to feel the rush, kick it into overdrive with their optional supercharged models and unleash the power. I don't know. We definitely don't need to let you have Sunday Fun Day with a supercharged model.
Maybe somebody else should drive, but you are in the driver's seat at Fox Factory Vehicles, and you can head to foxfactoryvehicles.com to build and price your next dream ride. They are available through partnering dealerships nationwide. Fox Factory Vehicles brings the precision and performance that you've been dreaming of, and you can visit foxfactoryvehicles.com today and take the wheel. All right, it's time for Reaction Theater. How many calls did we get, Alex?
Like 80 or so.
Damn.
80?
Yeah.
That's
That
it?
tells you it wasn't a very good race.
Yeah, it wasn't
yesterday.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Not that it wasn't a good race. It was a good finish, but it was kind of gets strung out and boring a little bit there.
Yeah.
Plus, we probably, I asked for clean their act up a little bit. The people on here were getting a little out of control.
You should have called in from one of your wine tours, Freddie.
I don't think I could operate a phone at that point in the day. This Wednesday was a long day for. Congrats to Doug and Gina, by the way. They're now engaged. I don't know what the hell she's thinking, but good luck to them. We properly celebrated the lovely engagement.
I saw a couple pictures. Yeah, it was good.
I'm sure you saw more than a couple. All right,
let's get into it.
All you Kyle Busch fans should turn into SVG fans. Your wife would have you drained. You would look like raisins. He might even have a kid or two by now.
Jesus.
He's Kyle's.
That's the T-shirt guy, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of, Andrew's
Kyle's
T-shirt
one Legends win away.
He's one more win away from
from accounting.
5. We've said 5 Legend Car wins equals 1 Cup win for the Kyle Busch fans, so they can get lucky after the next one, which he's probably going to get because I think he wins just about every week now. Yeah. He's racing that, but I need to ask him. Like, we need to find out because he's racing the Masters division, which is you got to be 40 and over. Like, could he not race against Bubba and all them? Like, does he not want Keelan to kick his ass like Keelan kicks everybody else's ass over there? Like, but I don't know if there's rules or he can't go down.
That sounds like a veteran right there. He's doing the right thing.
He's getting those wins. He's
doing it for the fans right now.
Stacking those W's.
Stacking W's.
He's just trying to gain some confidence.
Oh,
man,
boy.
I bet that garage looked like Dale Earnhardt after he won the Daytona 500. You probably had everyone lined up high-fiving Josh Berry for finally wrecking Karsyn Elledge and
it's going somewhere else.
Me too. Oh, man. Probably. I mean, it's such a weird deal that, Karsyn, I felt bad for Karsyn listening to Dale's show. Where Dale,
he's talking about how he has no friends.
And Dale's just like, you sure maybe one guy here? No, he's like, nope, might make some high racing buddies. That's it. He's like, not one late model guy or not no cup guy. He's like,
he
nope.
kept trying. Like,
Dale's
he kept
like,
going.
just like,
Are you his friend, Michael?
I think that's by choice.
Yeah. Obviously you see it on a weekly basis with him, and I think we talked about this a little bit at Pocono. But like, what's it like being Karsyn Hocevar's teammate? I know everybody that's come on here from Spire talks about maybe he doesn't show up to meetings on time, and that frustrates them. But other than that, what's it like working with him week in, week out?
Interesting. It just is. We're just so different, right? Like age gap, and there's a lot of gaps. We're very different. So it's
a lot of gaps.
Been a learning curve for me, to say the least. In the beginning, I was like, oh, all right, I'm going to help. I'm going to be able to fix this. This is how we're going to do things. And then I learned really quickly that no, we're not. And I better just focus on my stuff and try to get myself as prepared as I can. He's young, right? He's young. He's super fast. He's incredibly fast. And he's growing up in a different world than we grew up in. And man, I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was 20-somethings, and not under the microscope that that everybody is under right now. It's just a different world that we live in. But he's super fast. He's going to figure it out. These things take care of themselves organically, one way or another. And sometimes you learn the hard way, and sometimes you get away with more than you should, and it all you figure it out.
All comes out in the wash.
Yeah, it does.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Tommy likes to think he's the next Dale Earnhardt. So
right. Don't even.
That's a terrible comparison.
Say that.
So,
no,
yeah.
I don't. Stop. Yeah. I do not.
He really didn't say that.
I like to wind the clock sometimes.
Yeah.
The question that we didn't answer, though, is did Karsyn do anything to Josh Berry in that race that we didn't see?
I didn't see anything. I never saw any replay. Obviously, you got back late last night, so I didn't have a lot of time to go back.
Let us know after
race.
y'all's competition meeting this week.
Because there's always more
he won't
to
be
it.
there.
There's always more to it.
He'll be late at least.
Yeah.
Alex, you didn't. I didn't. None of the tweets. I know you probably poured over Twitter a little bit more than I did.
The replay was. I think Barry kind of got into him in turn 11, and then finished the job. I think in turn 2 or whatever. So
Didn't successfully pull it off in 11.
Yeah, I didn't move him out of the way too much. So.
just wanted to get it done in 2.
Yeah.
But there's no tell. I'm sure at some point in the last few years he's probably run into him.
Right, for sure.
I don't know if there's anybody not on that list, but
it was one of those he didn't forget.
It really did. Honestly, once from the in-car, like we talked about earlier, from the in-car, I thought it was 1,000% intentional. When I looked at the other video, like when you see him, Reddick, the 3 of them in there, I thought he locked the right front up and just kind of popped into them in the right. So I don't think it was just strictly payback and going to intentionally do this. I think it was just an accident.
Yeah. Hi, Dylan. Woo! Woo! Hey, Tommy, tighten your lug nuts, bro.
That sounds like a guy that might have won some money on Ty Dillon yesterday.
I'm telling you.
I would say.
What? So I don't even remember now. Who gets suspended? This is just the picker guys, right? So you don't got a crew chief this week.
No.
You're gonna be okay.
I won't be there anyway. So.
That mother sweet Jesus don't miss. Ass boy Bowman getting a little taste of his own medicine. Go 23.
Fast boy Bowman.
Listen, they were hugging each other this week. I
Yeah,
said,
I
so
think-
it was all kumbaya after the race. Even I was texting back and forth with Alex on the way home from Chicago, and then I saw the two of them talking, and then Bubba ended up buying him dinner this week or something. So all this is going on, and then Bubba walks in for our pre-race meeting about 2 hours before. I said, "So what lap do you want to wreck this 48?" he said, I think I'm going to drive up there on the parade lap and just get it out of the way. But yeah, I don't think. If anything, Bubba might have been it was probably the one on the wrong last week. So I don't think Alex did
Bubba was
anything wrong.
the one in the wrong
Yeah.
last week. Yeah, not. I think.
Yeah, I think
Allegedly.
I think he's in wrong.
Allegedly.
I can only speak for myself.
A few weeks ago, Karsyn Elledge was saying how much she hates snakes. But I just was watching the show, and she has a snake tattoo on her left arm. So she must not hate him that bad.
Ironic, isn't it?
By the way, Karsyn, I'm single. Word.
What was
Yeah.
it? What did he say at the
What
end?
did he say at the end? Word.
That's what I used to say.
Yeah,
at the
why
end
is
of
the snake on red?
So
It
she
was
can't see it. It's on the outside
Yeah,
of her arm.
I honestly, this
moved
was one
on.
of the ones.
She just-
This was one of the ones I kind of got for no reason. It has no meaning or anything like that. It just was I was 19 and I had free will.
Can we invent
Bad relationship.
Invent a reason?
Bad relationship.
I actually did get this after a breakup.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. Okay.
You know those are permanent, right?
Yep.
They
Yeah.
They don't
come
they don't
off.
think about that
Yeah.
when they're
Yeah.
oh, that's so cool.
I think it'll be cool when I'm an old lady and I'm covered. That'd be badass. You look like a cool old lady with tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Your dumbasses have tattoos?
No.
None.
I don't have anything
Oh yeah,
stupid.
Jack does.
Jack does.
Yeah.
What does he got?
He's got a cardinal for his grandfather, just looking after him.
Gotcha.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got somebody who was concerned about Jack this week. I got that little bit of that this weekend.
What do you mean?
It was Bubba. Jack was wandering around Bubba's
Yeah,
house.
he was
in
at
the
his
middle
house
of-
having lunch. He was. I was wondering why. Beth was like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm making Jack lunch." I'm like, "Jack lunch? Oh, he must be feeling because he's working at Rick Ware's now. He's got a real job. He's got a real life. I'm like, oh, he must be trying to save some money. Next thing you know, he's eating at Bubba's house. I'm like, Bubba's got plenty of money. Go in his fridge. use his food.
I think Jack's. I don't know. Are we permitted to? Is that a girlfriend
Yeah, it's
nowadays?
his girlfriend, yeah.
So Jack's girlfriend is Bubba's babysitter. So they were there. But I think this is the first time they left old Bex at home they were out there for Sonoma things. But. Yeah, so they said, yes, we got one camera in the house. We just saw Jack wandering back and forth to the fridge a couple times. They were concerned about maybe him not being 21. I said, no, he's 21.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
All right. Well, to leave an audio message 24/7, you can call our number at 704-802-9572, and we'll play the best ones each week on the show.
Hey, it's Dale Jr., and for the latest DBC gear, we need you to go to shop.dirtymomedia.com. We've got plenty of options, and we're adding new stuff all the time. Shop.dirtymomedia.com.
All right, it's time for a little Ask DBC. You can send in your questions on X every week using hashtag AskDBC. And Danielle would like to know, I saw SVG was asking about Zillage and Byron's tire pressures this weekend. Do other teams have access to this? If so, where is the line? Teams seem to know everything. Other drivers and teams are doing at all times.
I would like to know their tire pressure too. How do I get that
Yeah.
information? Do you get that information?
No, not from them.
Well, they're
guys.
alliance.
Yeah. Oh, they're not. They were teammates. They were.
Well, they're alliance to the Hendrick too, so they get to see the
SVG. This is probably talking about Saturday, I would assume, because Zillage didn't race Sunday. So SVG and Zillage were teammates on Saturday. So they yes, you obviously share all that information within your team. I would say for us, we would know probably what JGR's doing. I would think.
Yeah.
As far as pressures wise, I would assume you guys. I guess Hendrick, right?
No,
you don't get any of
we
that
don't get that
information.
information.
Oh,
we would love to, though.
would
That would
love
be
to.
great. Yeah.
So you want to apply for
We're
it?
going to push for that today, actually.
Yeah, it looked like in the practice you guys were a little off. All three cars spun
Yeah,
out, right?
we
a little
definitely-
off on air pressure.
Air pressure was off.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
It was funny. I'm sure you guys were the same way, Tommy. Probably the same way. But I get a overview of practice expectations beforehand, and it was like the practice fast lap was about the same as what expected was, but the fall off was way more than what it was expected. So it's hard to and that's just based off of it's hard to go because last year was obviously fresh pavement, and you don't really know what to expect after a year of sitting there, and they even patched a couple places.
Right.
I know turn 1 was patched.
Yep.
How hard is that to go in kind of with an unknown? Because we ran into the same thing. I think we did. I don't know about you. Coda was another one
everybody
where
did.
Yeah, it was just like, this is way off from what we expected.
Yeah, for sure. I think that also have a new tire there too, right? So you know that new asphalt's going to lose a little. I wouldn't expect it to lose that much, though, and it was a lot. But they had problems with the asphalt. You remember originally it was moving and all this stuff, and they patched it and sealed it, and then they had to seal it again. So there's a lot of unknowns going into that. But your targets were better than our targets because we were targeting like 2.5 seconds faster than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we were definitely off on all that.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, share as far as sharing information, you get like I know we get a lot of stuff from Gibbs, obviously, and vice versa. They get some stuff from us as well. I don't know like what you guys do or how much you get. Tommy, how much do you get from?
We get
Roush?
everything.
Yeah,
we get everything from our.
You just sounds like you just. I mean, you got to.
You guys are getting
Well, somebody's foot to the fire here.
You guys get the baseline.
I don't want to.
No, yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where there's key partners in the GM program, and I think it's Trackhouse and RCR, and obviously Hendrick, and they have. The information they share. We're not a part of that group. We do share some information with Colleague and with Hayek as well, as far as maybe some CFD or, wind tunnel stuff, things like that, maybe baseline aero maps and things. But, our relationship with Hendrick, obviously the engine shop, we get great engines and we get some support on, processes and procedures. But when it comes to that key information, that's sort of off limits. But yeah, it's all part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of shows did you guys see this week? There wasn't much going on.
I didn't see
Sonoma.
a lot. The last lap of the ARCA race was a show. Like that was. I don't know if you got to watch this, but it was. I mean, I think the right guy won in the end.
Right guy won,
but
for
it was not looking like the right guy was going to win. And even him, like I felt bad. Poor Jack Wood. He ends up. I don't know where he's right. He's running third or fourth, wherever I don't know if they choose or not. He's in that green car back there, but like they shove Swalich off the racetrack when they get to the top of the hill. He comes back on behind Wood and ends up turning Wood because I'm sure he's just seeing red, trying to go back to the front. So it's just like you did talk about last week, Tommy, where it's like just everybody on the last restart.
Yeah, what's crazy, I mean, Swalich did a great job all race long, but Londe had a lot of speed.
Yeah.
But this right here was like, I'm not even trying to pass you.
And then, like, just the good thing was just commit to running through the grass right there instead of trying to miss the. You're gonna probably miss the corner. You come out at least behind them guys. Here comes Jack getting dumped by the 18 car right there, or it's coming right here. Over corrects into him, turns him.
Yep.
Jack stays over, and then the other two take care of himself and open the door right back up for Swalich. But I think at the end of the day, the right guy won, and I think everybody's glad to see that.
Yeah.
It's just I was also impressed coming to the checker that Eckes wasn't more aggressive because Swalich kind of moves those guys in 11, and Eckes could have easily just like hung a left and knocked him out of the ballpark or something, and didn't do that. So that was refreshing to see. What else was this weekend? Anything? The tornado. That damn tornado in Iowa. That was sketchy.
That was scary looking.
I don't know what the hell. You're sitting in the pit area and all of a sudden tornado sirens start going off. You're like, okay, now what? Like and especially out there, like where do you go?
Happened to us one time in Nashville at an Xfinity race, and I was sitting with Tad Kachector. I was driving the JTG car, and he's like, "I think you should take your family and head to the tunnel." And I was like, talking about, it's no big deal. We're in a motorhome. It won't float away, right?
My first time I came down here, when I first came down, I stayed at Mike Herman's house between, I forget, I spotted for Bubba Greenville Pickens, the first race we ever worked together, like 2010. And then I stayed for South Boston the week after. And I'm from Long Island. We don't have tornadoes on Long Island. So,
I'm from Arizona. We don't have anything.
Just hot. It's just hot. So I get there and the thing pops up on a news tornado warning. And I'm like, Herm, what are we going to do? He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, it's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. And I've gotten desensitized to it now that I've been here a while. But at the time, he's like, I said, well, there's a box on the TV. There's a map with a box. I go, where are we in the box? He's like, well, right in the middle of it. And I'm like, where do we got to? He's like, I'm telling you, don't worry about it. And then he's like, I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, you hear sirens, you hear this thing was like 6 miles from Herm's house. And I'm like, you sure? Like, I'm freaking out. He's like, no, we're good. And he's like, as long as, he goes, I'll tell you what, there's 2 old guys that are on the porch down the road from me, like 2 houses down across the street. He goes, they're out there every day. He's like, as long as they're out there, we're good. He's like, they know everything. They know. I look out, there's no old guys on the porch. I'm like, I said,
Where's the bathtub?
I said, where the hell are we going to go? He's like, I'm telling you, we're going to be fine. And we were. But I was like, are you sure? Because the tornado warning pops up, and I'm like, we'll be fine. Oh, this was a bit of a show. This thing blew up right in front of us on the way up the hill yesterday. This van.
What blew up?
The van blew up. That bus right there, whatever it is. My favorite part of this whole scenario when I took this picture, so I thought that this pickup truck, so this bus had been sitting there probably for, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know, it overheated, bus blew a line off, it was just steaming out. There's a picture on my Twitter for anybody that wants to go look at it. So there's just a van parked there with streaming antifreeze behind it. But the guy in the white pickup truck is the real show of it, because there's like 4 lanes there. The guy behind him, so I thought it was like somebody bringing water up to this guy to come help. He just sat there. He just sat there laying on the horn. He's like waving at the guy to get out of the way. The guy's like, go around.
Oh my God, that definitely counts then. Yeah.
I was like, I mean, there's nothing else coming. There's 3 other lanes, and the guy's just sitting there laying on the horn, flipping them off. I'm like,
there's
poor guy's
nothing more aggravating than a horn with people. People blow the horn behind me at a stoplight.
It just makes you turn red.
I stop. I wait for the light to go yellow, almost red, and I take off.
Yeah,
that's the Long Island coming out in you. I think.
I hate the horn.
I don't know. Yeah, there was no. Did you see any shows on the track like that? Anybody missed this week? You know.
Oh, there was plenty of shows the last 3 restarts there for sure.
Yeah.
No,
nothing really. There was no real like
quiet week.
Yeah. Austin Hill and who was that? Corey Day kind of caused a little ruckus on Saturday. I don't know if that's going to qualify for a show. I show maybe Noah. Like, I don't know what the hell they were thinking about. Like, did he restart right in front of you or not? I mean,
I don't know. All I know is
they were on like the similar plan, just backing up through the field, and then decided to stay out on that yellow. And like they were like one of the last cars on old tires, and I was like, there's no chance he survives this. And then I look up, and he's the one that was wrecked.
That's the worst feeling.
Oh, like
it's the worst feeling when you just know it's coming.
Yeah,
you're just
you're the last guy.
Thanks, crew chief. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these here, and we'll see you in a few laps.
Yeah, you're the last guy on tires where you know tires matter within 3 seconds of pace or whatever. It's just, oh yeah, I didn't think that was gonna work. But maybe it's just 3 this week, Dalton. I don't know. There's just
light week.
Good job. Everybody kept their mind, their P's and Q's. It sounded like
last week.
Karsyn Hosevar's pile up that he caused.
77.
Sorry, my bad. I'm not supposed to say
it sounded like the what race was it?
Yeah, Petaluma. Mini Street Stocks was a barn burner. Oh gosh, it was so good. Coming to 3 to go, leaders took each other out. They put both of them in the back of the pack, and they refired through the field. It was great.
That's perfect.
Wow.
Awesome. the sprint car race was on Flow. I wonder if that race was on there. I didn't get to look.
It was.
It was. Damn it! We should have pulled that up.
Well, remember to go vote on our light.
Yeah, for sure.
Show Hall of Fame Twitter.
I can't believe
I
can't believe Uncle Al didn't win last week. Uncle Al, poor guy, busting his ass on that big wheel.
DBC Picks. I finally won.
Hey, congratulations!
I finally won.
Welcome back.
It's been a long few
you're
weeks.
ahead of Freddie and I.
Well, the guest won 8 in a row or something like that.
8 wins. It's freaking crazy.
McDowell, you let me down.
I'm sorry. I let myself down.
Yeah. Where are we going? Dover?
Hey, listen, I will say he was confident last week because when I texted him to come on here, he said, I'm coming in and I'm winning.
That's what made me pick him. I had a chance to pick SVG before you did.
Yeah, I was going to whoop your old ass if you picked SVG before I got to.
That's how racing is, though. You know what I mean? Like, you go to Chicago, you got a race-winning car, you're like, Sonoma's my best track. We are going to lay it to them. You get there, you spin out, you qualify 15th, and you're just like, top 5 day, not bad. We'll take it.
Good points to everybody.
Oh gosh. Man. Okay.
I don't know. Do I go first?
Freddie goes first.
Where the hell are we going? Dover? The monster. I will take. I don't have anybody left.
Me either. It's bad.
I will take. What do we got left here? I'll take Ross. I haven't even looked at the damn guest list. Have they been burning up all the good drivers?
Yeah, they're burning up.
Yeah, I'll take Hosevar.
Hey.
Wow.
I was actually going to pick him.
Well,
yeah.
Now you can't.
It'll be a good track for him.
All right, is it Tommy's turn?
Tommy, then Karsyn. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Briscoe.
He's got to qualify good. I can tell you that much. Jeez, this guy's been like a top 3 for the last 2 months, it seems like.
I'm going to take Priest.
You still got Priest?
Yeah.
Priest is a good pick.
That is a good pick.
I hope he blows up in the parade laps, but
Why?
Are you?
because I'm racing it for points.
Dude, shut up.
That's not nice.
Trying to
I'm
get
not
my
supposed to be
lead
nice.
back.
When I texted him and he said he was going to win, I said, "Man, I would love that for the podcast and hate that for my season."
Yeah. Yeah. How about Priest though?
Priest is doing a great job this
Yeah.
year. And it's capitalizing. He had to. You know what I mean? This
Yep.
was it. I think,
Yep.
I don't know, he might have had a couple-year deal with this, but he had to make this deal work. This was going to be his last opportunity, and he's capitalizing. I feel like he's been obviously more consistent than Brad, and maybe as consistent or more so than Busher has been.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
he's
And
just-
Derek Finley too.
Yeah.
for
Don't leave
sure.
that out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had Derek.
I would have never seen those two together.
Yeah. When they
Making
told me that,
hay.
because we had Derek at front row, I think it was Landon, I would assume it had to
Yep.
be. And when they said that I think he was doing the other car because we had Seth. But he must have been doing the other car, and they said that he was doing Priest, and I was like, that seems like an unlikely combination. But I mean, they seemed like they hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. I always kid him every week. I'm like, hey, it's a good thing you figured this out. You sucked for a long time. This is great.
Which one?
Yeah.
Derek or Priest?
Oh man.
Well,
What do we got going on this week, Thomas?
What do we got? We got Monadnock.
Are we done? I can't remember.
Yeah.
that's it.
Monadnock,
Monadnock.
double Saturday and a Sunday. Twin
Tour race?
Twin tour races, yeah. They're making up for the rain.
Oh, they rained out earlier
so we
this
got to
year.
run dual features, yeah.
Where are we at in points? We're still
fifth.
about 20 something out.
Yeah.
That's good. Still right there. That point battle.
Congratulations to Eric Beers.
Austin Beers.
Austin Beers.
Congrats to Eric too. Your son won this week.
So I do that on purpose because I did it years ago, and now I just call him what's his name.
Just call what's his name. Austin. I mean, that's what 3 in a row at that place
yeah,
for
he's won the
Lancaster
last
for
3
him.
years.
And I thought he was a sitting duck. I thought the one car was blowing through the field there late, and he was going to run him down. But it seemed like Austin left a little bit in the tank. He ran it. He caught him, but then Austin drove away the last.
Yeah,
couple
they had
laps.
different pit strategy, and I can't believe it worked, but they did a good job.
Does that mean your pit strategy wasn't?
No, we came in with we had the same strategy as the one and the 51, and but the one car came in lead and blew past his pit stall, 3 stalls into us, and stopped, and then backed up, caught us off guard. We lost like 6-7 spots on pit road, and then, like I said, then the next time we got spun out, so we had to start in the back twice. But he did.
Are you
good
sure
job.
you didn't lose ground on pit road because everybody on your team is 80 years old?
The tour average is lower. It's the smart tour. My pit crew average is 78. No lie. My pit crew average on the smart tour is 70.
What?
Yes. Yes, I have an 84-year-old.
He's got Forrest, who's 106 years
He's
old.
78. Then I got a guy that's even older. He's 84, and it's me.
Who's
There's just
older than
3 of
Forrest?
us. A guy named Chuck. He's from Raleigh. Yeah, he comes and helps. Yeah, 84. Now, and we have to take 7 breaks during practice. We got to get him cooled down. Got to get drinks in them.
Hook the crew up to the cool down unit, not to try.
Needless to say, by the end of the night, I am wore out.
Wow.
I wouldn't get any fights. I would just say.
No.
Yeah, you're not on your own, buddy.
I've been always fighting on my own. I don't like groups. But.
Don't group.
He doesn't like organized
He doesn't
group
like
activities.
no group fighting.
No group fighting.
Karsyn, Cars Tour.
We're off this weekend, but Langley's running Hampton Heat, so we are gonna be up there with the merchandise trailer. So if you'll be at Langley, come see us.
Is that part of that Virginia?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Virginia Triple Crown, which you can watch on Flow Racing.
Yeah. How can you watch it on Flow Racing?
You can visit our link, flowsports.link/DBC1.
and Monadnock.
And you can watch the modifieds, yeah.
Michael, what do you got going on? Just prep for Dover this week. Did you have the ambition? I don't know if you're allowed to or not, but to race anything outside of the Cup car, like late model, modified, dirt racing, like
He's got 12 kids.
Yeah, that's true.
it doesn't have to.
You know, it's interesting. I would, but I don't like doing anything unless I can do it like,
All the way in,
out.
yeah.
And I don't have the capacity to do it, and it just never really worked out. I mean, I feel like I, for the most part, have had to hang on for dear life just to keep my Cup job, and so there hasn't been like a lot of like, I'll just go do this for fun, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that any time you can get seat time and run other things is good.
Yeah, for sure. Before we leave, first of all, we got to give a shout out to the truck guy, Bill.
The truck guy.
Big podcast fan. I met Michael's dad. I should preface. I met him at the Chili Bowl this year. I've seen him at a couple races this year. He's apparently a big DBC fan, which I was very shocked to hear.
Hey now, stop that.
A couple things from our home racetrack. Shout out to Steve Halpin, our friend Pumpkinhead. We call him that because he has a head the size and color of a pumpkin. Announced his last race. I don't know, maybe not his last race, but last full-time race. He's been doing it for 33 years, I think, at Riverhead Raceway. He announced his last race. He's actually moving down here to bother us now, so hopefully won't share my address with him. I know he'll be at Tommy's house pretty often. Shout out to him, and congratulations. Riverhead Raceway, our home track, has the Cromartie Wall of Fame. And they announced today that they've got this year's class is going to include Long John Silver, who is a longtime demo guy. You probably can watch him back on ESPN back in the day. Rollover contest. If you ever watched this, it was wild. This guy was a maniac. So he's going in. I think he's the first one from that world, that kind of Sunday show we used to call it, world that was going in. Tommy Ryan, who is been a longtime crew member down here. He just retired from Hendrick Motorsports. He moved down in the mid-'90s to work. He's an unbelievable fabricator. He worked for Terry Labonte, worked for Dale Jr. for a long time. He is going in as well. And the last inductees are Tom Baldwin Jr. and Tom Baldwin Sr. So congrats, Tommy. I know that means a lot to you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's I've been there obviously my whole life, but to be able to do something like with my dad again, right? To have this, awesome. Do it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and looking forward to it. I think it's the same week as Richmond, which of course we race on Saturday night one time while we're here. Yeah. So I don't think. I mean, you're probably going to get to go. I wish I could go, but we'll be there in spirit with you. But congratulations, it's well earned. I mean, it's funny because obviously your dad was the mainstay at Riverhead Raceway, all Long Island racing. Once Charlie Gizombach passed away, So Tiger really took the torch and was the leader of the Long Island gang as far as modified racing goes. And then maybe, it's funny because Riverhead, it's just really all about your overall, effects on the sport and how much you meant to the racetrack. And Tommy, the autograph line for Tommy at Riverhead when we show up it might be the beer line actually, but I think it's the autograph line. It's hard to tell sometimes, but it's awesome. Congratulations. It's well deserved.
Pretty cool deal.
Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Thanks again to everybody for listening. Thank you, Michael, for dropping by. We will hopefully do this again sometime. Maybe the next win, Watkins Glen. Maybe we'll get you on after that one if you get that done, or anywhere really. You got plenty of speed everywhere nowadays. So
there's a win coming.
Yeah, just get it done. Maybe after the playoffs start would be great.
It doesn't pay as well after the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
We're out.